Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, so I wanted to just come on real quick and give a message about a certain energy that I know for a fact that we as a collective are in the process of transmuting, healing, modifying, balancing, right? And it's the energy of like the victim mindset. You know how I'm pretty sure you've heard, like, part of this time is about coming out of the energy of lack. The victim mindset is where you feel like something is against you, or things don't ever work out for you, or something that you want that you're not getting, and the lack of having it is placing you in a position of, depression and sadness, and just not happy, not able to really focus for real. That's energy definitely needs to be balanced based upon how we currently are in our consciousness, our level of consciousness, based on everything that we've been through as a collective. Like, that is definitely needs some attention at the end of the day, some love. Okay, so the victim mindset. So this card, it says, victim mindset, insufficient awareness of personal power. Insufficient awareness. A lot. Oh boy. Awareness of personal power. Awareness of personal power. Exactly. Excessive belief that the world is acting against. Increased sensitivity and searching the environment to detect threat, blame, denial of personal responsibility. I mean, this energy is definitely here as a collective, you guys. I mean, we see this energy. Like, yeah, they just want to play the victim. They just want to play the victim. They'll never take personal accountability or responsibility for themselves and what they do and their behaviors. In other words, you're saying they're not taking responsibility on how they're thinking, okay, and how they're feeling, not able to handle their triggers, not able to really look at themselves at all, refuse to look at themselves, refuse to take accountability for how they feel before they project that shit on me, or on us. Like, they're failing to do that. And I got a problem with it, basically. But that energy is like an energy that all of us have to transmute, right? Like, we're in the cycle or the stage or the age of Aquarius, right? Where everybody is like waking up to themselves at the end of the day. And when you wake up to yourself, you wake up to everything. Like, you really see it, like, for real, for what it truly is. Which is an absolutely beautiful thing, and it could be a very beautiful thing. But it's like, first you have to awaken to yourself. So this victim mindset, I mean, there are really great benefits, and like, this is a very challenging energy to transmute. Like I said, it's based upon everything that we've been through as a collective, you guys. The conditioning, the programming, like, it's affected like everybody, y'all. So what I'm saying is, it's challenging to transmute that energy. Okay, but there are some great benefits that come from coming out of that victim mindset. Number one, it's like the first benefit, and at the end of the day, by now, I know that you want it. But the first benefit is peace. The first benefit of coming out of, at the end of the day, I hate to say it like that, like the victim mindset, like, because it almost sounds like it's dismissive of your feelings. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's just that the level of your feelings are based upon the thoughts that you're thinking about yourself at the end of the day. Because whatever those thoughts are, they're placing you in not high regards and not like a high value position, Like, how can this be happening to me? How could you do this to me? Like, whatever that is outside of you, you're holding a lot of value for it. Like, you're giving it a lot of value for it to matter that much. You know, because you hold just as much value as whatever that is outside of you, or whoever that is outside of you. You hold just as much value. So if two things have the same equal amount of value, then what's the problem again? Like, why, you know, should you be feeling some type of way? Why should you be feeling some type of way? We hold the same value. It's just that the value has been, I wouldn't say covered up, but conditioned at the end of the day. I know this is deep, you guys, okay? Well, it can get deep. I feel like I am. Okay, so number one benefit is peace. The level of peace that you have from this surrender, you know, and that's what you're doing. You're surrendering, like, you're handing over the process, you know, which brings me to the next benefit, trust. Like, you'll start to experience the energy of trust, whether you're just, you know, you're surrendering and you're trusting in your soul, you're trusting in God. So it's your higher self, however you look at that energy, you're trusting in that relationship, that connection, you know, that higher mind. Like, you're trusting, you're completely trusting it. You know, so if you're completely trusting it, or you're working, right, you're working on that, completely trusting it, then you no longer need to watch. You no longer need to, like, make sure that this is happening like this and make sure this is, it's like, it's nothing wrong with wanting things to go how you want them, but the control, in a way, behind it is something behind that energy that's coming from a place of, if this doesn't turn out right, or if this, you know, if I don't have this, then it means that I'm missing something, you know, as far as in my value, or just in my heart, in my soul, I feel like I'm missing something. It's like it's giving too much of it away. And that's due to, you know, the rejection, the abandonment, you know what I mean? And that's like real shit that happened, you know? So, yeah, it's like a level of trust that will come in. You know, like, whatever your situations are, your relationships, specifically relationships, you know, because I know, like, for me, you guys, I was the type, like, after my first, like, heartbreak, right? I was, like, determined, like, okay, you know what? I can't trust these people out here. Can't trust these men, okay? So I was very, basically, now I can say it, okay? Controlling. It was controlling, and it was because I wanted to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, to try to avoid, you know, feeling the energy of basically putting me back in the damn victim mindset. I just came out that shit, okay? Just saying. You know, at the end of the day, but what does that really say about, like, my value? That basically says that, okay, because this last situation didn't see it, then it's a strong possibility that this person may not see it as well. And the matter of fact, they're moving kind of funny. So it's looking like they're not seeing it. And then you continue to manifest in that energy, in that thought process about self, by the way. You know, it's a mindset. So when you completely surrender to trusting in that higher mind, it's like a level of peace that comes in. And it also, the next benefit, it's like it also brings in the gift of time. People don't realize how much time they spend on worrying or thinking or focusing on the things that are not working in your life. Like, that requires a lot of time and definitely your energy. So when you start to surrender that energy, Like you'll have more available time, you know, like, because your focus is going to be no longer on that. So it's going to be like open to be on whatever else next. Yourself, perhaps, you know, like you'll be able to have more time to focus on yourself naturally, though. But it's a process, right? And like the last benefit, I mean, this should be number one, is you'll start to experience the energy of joy. You'll start to be more grateful, more appreciative, you know, for your life and what you have and where you are, what you've been through and how much you've grown and like the changes that you've been seeing in yourself, you know, even though it's like confusing and got towers happening everywhere, you know, it's all still part of the sacred mess of the creation process. Basically. Okay. And I get this, I get the victim mindset, because like I said, I was the type that was just like, you know, listen, I ain't for no shit. Basically, this is not happening, that's not happening, this is not happening, this is not happening. I'm gonna make sure, okay? I'm gonna make sure that you heard me and your actions and your behaviors better match up to what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Way too much energy. Way too much energy. And that's the part that I didn't see about myself back then. You know, like I thought like I'm a good person, which I was. I am, right? But like back then it was like my mindset was I just looked at that as, well, you should be doing what I tell you to do. Versus, you know, I was like nice, right? And genuine and kind and compassionate, right? But not all the time. And not saying I had to do it all the time, but it was definitely the same amount. It definitely was getting to be the same amount. Okay. You have to understand all of that is you're using all of that energy. You're using all of that energy, and all of that energy when you're getting upset and how you handle how you express your feelings, how you express when you're angry or when something bothers you, how you express that, like that matters. Specifically in dealing with close relationships, you guys. And the reason why it matters, because remember the other side of you. The other side of you is, I mean, listen, it's genuine. So it's very valuable. You are valuable. So whenever you show out, you express that other side where you may be in your victim mindset or in your wounds or whatever. Whenever you express that side, like that side is just, it holds just as much value in how you are expressing it. Whether you're expressing it through like criticizing, like I used to do, or you're expressing it through like, you know, making the other person feel so guilty because, you know, you're so sad. You know what I mean? That energy is still valued. Specifically to those of you who like with the close relationships, like they value that energy just as much on how you feel about them or how you think about them, like what you think matters to them. So that energy may even have even more power. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with the person. Like I said, this is general. Like we all have been through some shit at the end of the day. You know, but it's definitely about like speaking your truth, but speaking your truth with wisdom, you know, with candor, sincerity, and compassion at the end of the day. Okay. Let's pull a card, y'all. I just wanted to come on here real quick, okay, because I know that this is the energy, you guys, that we're currently working on and transmuting, okay? Medicine of the butterfly Kachina, number 6, Pauhik Mana. Okay, Pauhik Mana. See what you talking about, girl. All right, number 6. All right, so this says, On wings of hope, butterfly Kachina guides you through an ending to the light of a new life within. It is your transition into a happier time of increased pleasure and delight, especially if you have experienced great struggle or loss. The spirit medicine of butterfly brings hopeful promise to your heart. Here is your sign that there will be happiness, peace, and light. Trust in the goodness being birthed. How beautiful is this already? How beautiful is this already, you guys? Okay, so this says, trust that you have the inner resources to handle what is happening within you and in your life. You are moving towards a significant psychological, emotional, and perhaps also physical breakthrough and transformation. Lord have mercy. You may have had an inner sense of discomfort, signaling, you know what I'm saying, y'all, that something new is unfolding within. It is natural to initially feel a little awkward or uncertain in the face of the unfamiliar. This is a good sign of change stirring from within. Allow nature to take its course. Trust in what's happening even while you don't fully understand it. It will turn out beautifully in the end, which will also be a new beginning. Wow, beautiful. It says, you have not missed out, you have not messed up, you have been learning and growing. What is required from you now is a willingness to let it all fall away, because the person that you once were actually no longer, what is required from you now is a willingness to let it fall away, because the person you once were actually no longer exists. Wow. You may not fully realize it yet. Like the butterfly trying to crawl on the ground like a caterpillar, you may mourn the loss of your old caterpillar ways. Yet, if you take a moment to witness yourself anew now, you'll realize that you are not the person from 2 or 10 years ago. You can then open to the gifts that the butterfly Kachini is bringing to you now. Your well-being, new life, vibrancy, freedom, and happiness. Wow. If you have been working hard on an issue, on yourself, or on a cause in the world, and it seems to be going nowhere, this energy reminds you that in the divine alchemy of transformation, things sometimes appear to be going backwards as they move forward. It's the new way of things. After summer, there is autumn and then winter, all of which indicate progress towards the next spring. If you didn't understand the creative purpose and nature of the seasons, you might be frightened by the winter, concerned that it signified the world with ending. With knowledge of the sacred feminine wisdom of the seasons, you are not afraid of winter. You see it as a part of life. You may have even learned to nurture and restore yourself during that time, gaining conscious benefit and appreciation for it. If you feel you are in a spiritual or emotional winter in your life, have hope. The soul unfolds according to seasons, just as nature does. Let your heart and mind rest and trust that life is growing your soul into its beautiful fulfillment. Beautiful. I honor all that I have been through, for it has brought me to this moment. Now I am strong, wise, compassionate, and empowered. I accept life, and I'm ready for the rebirth that is happening now and in my own soul and in the world. May divine love support successful transitions for our world. May all beings move into the love, freedom, peace, and happiness. I embrace this moment. So be it. Absolutely. So fucking be it. Yes. Listen, hang on in there, y'all, okay? I'll talk to you later.